Order. So welcome to the Shorewood Park Sanitary District, December 2nd, 2025 monthly meeting. I guess, I don't know, look for a motion to open the meeting? I don't think so. Let's move right into, I start with roll call. Sorry, I'm a little scattered here. We'll start with roll call. I'm Rich Stork and I am the chairperson for the sanitary district.
I'm Dean Fendel, the treasurer.
Matt Anderson, vice chair.
Al Powers, board.
I'm sorry. Sue Means, board member.
Tina Heidelberger, clerk.
And other visitors here tonight is Terry Peterson, our operator, and another guest tonight is Terry Kirkwatt, one of our residents. I think all of us have had a minute or two to look at the minutes from Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Are there any corrections or any discrepancies or anything anybody wants to add comment to on those minutes? If not, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, November 4th.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right, and if we're ready, we'll move right into Terry Peterson with the wastewater operator update.
Forward for the month, total was 227,380 gallons. Average was 79.3. High was on 11/3 at 11,930 gallons. Low was on 11/21 at 5,800 gallons. And every day you can see it dropping, it's dropping. People are leaving or something.
That's good. Good.
Did, before the ponds froze up, I did one more transfer over, did that last week, and we're sitting good for the winter, everything's buttoned up.
All right, good. That's perfect. I guess I'll move right into the chairman update. I was expecting to hear something from the MPCA on the process of our permit, because they did mention that was in kind of the final review last month, but we haven't heard anything on it since. So, I guess we'll just wait until we hear something. I mean, basically, we're just waiting for the approval of the information that they have and have them provide us with a written working permit. I did meet with Nestle Township this month, about 2 weeks ago, and that was per our plowing contract to get that caught up. So we did our tour, which is written in the contract that every year we have to drive around and review the roads, which we did. So we met with Joe Heidelberger, and he's part of the township board now. And then John from Muddy Gap, and then Doug Johnson. And we basically just did the tour and talked about how things went last year and what was going to be done this year, and nothing's really changed. So that was the only other thing that I really had to deal with outside of the normal day-to-day. So it was a good, quiet month. Are there any questions on either the operator update or the chairman update? All right, we'll move on from there. That's good. Financial updates. I will let Tina take that on.
Okay. So, sorry, 1 second here, just getting my bearings here. All right, so our current checking account balance as of 12/1 was $110,897.86. Our investment balance was $227,406.40. And our cash value for our investment is $33,398.94. That was as of 10/31. I hadn't gotten a new statement ending in 11 or for November yet when I checked the mail yesterday. As far as bills this month, we have an essential energy bill of $152.03. LJJ with $1,700, and then MTVL, which is the testing that Terry sends off our samples to, was $230. So looking for an approval for that.
I'll make the motion to approve the bills. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries to approve the bills for the month of November. All right, we'll just move right into old business, and we'll start off with expansion, which has been very, very quiet.
Pretty much the expansion has been on hold because of the government shutdown, and now that it's back and running, I think it takes a while for them to get going. We haven't heard from our EPA specialist, but I'm hoping that we will soon. So that's where we're going. It's probably going to run through the winter. Becky Meyer did contact our representative and our senator to check on the bill that we had last year for the bonding, and it's still in the works. It's still viable for this coming session. So we'll kind of go from there and see how things work out with the bonding, assuming that we wouldn't be able to get anything going with the expansion. Construction actually probably till the second half of next year. So.
Any questions? Okay. Budget approval. I believe this is to approve the budget that we put together, proposed budget for 2026. Is that correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay. So we did present the budget at the end of October, I believe. And we did post it at the pump house and mentioned it in the meeting and asked for any kind of feedback, concerns, questions. I did not receive any of those. Did anybody else hear anything on the budget and how it was proposed?
No.
Okay, then I think we can move forward and look for a motion to approve the budget for 2026 as presented and as posted.
I'll make the motion to approve the budget.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll move forward and approve the budget for 2026 as presented. There's a note here requesting paid meetings.
That was a request that I had. I've never been paid for meetings,
Okay,
and I'm requesting that going forward, I be paid the same amount that board members be paid. I had checked and other, like Nestle Township, their clerk, their, finance person, they're all paid in addition to. I didn't realize that was something that I should have been doing, so I'm asking that going forward, I would be paid my time for the meetings, obviously just like board members, if they're not present, I wouldn't get paid, but that I'd be paid the $50.
any questions or concerns on that request?
No, I don't.
I would look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to pay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, we're gonna move on to the burn pit. Last meeting, we had a few people in and they wanted to continue with the burn pit. We had some discussions about it, and basically, I think we pretty much agreed based on the amount of people that were here that were all for the burn pit, that we continue to operate the burn pit, but we did request that we do come up with some sort of written rules or written plans on how to control it a little bit more and reel it in and utilize it to more satisfy some of the other residents throughout the park. I don't, the group of people that were there, they kind of shook their head and said that they would kind of come up with some sort of a plan, but I think we can continue to have that conversation and poke them, those particular residents, to see if they could come up with some sort of a written plan. So I'm not gonna go through the process of writing something up, but I'd like to see something presented. So, you know, if we see those people, that group, maybe we can ask them to try to come up with some sort of plan. I think they did a real good job of cleanup. Scott has the equipment. You know, once the burning was done, they did exactly what they're gonna do. They cleaned it up, reduced the pile and spread it over the 2-acre lot, and that I think went really well. So we'll continue to have conversations about the burn pit and see if we can come up with some sort of written rules.
I got something to bring up about the burn permit from Scott with his equipment.
Yep.
He has equipment out there all day, his skid steers, all his attachments and everything. And we all talked about it, that we, the ones that were there said we should offer him something for his fuel. Either give him gift certificates or maybe $100, $150 or something, whatever. We should absolutely reimburse him for his fuel. And that would have cost us a lot of money had somebody else had to come in and do that stuff. All the cleanup he did with the brush buster and all that stuff.
Yeah. What are you proposing?
I'd say $150 for fuel or $150 in gift cards.
Okay. Are there any questions, concerns, comments?
No, I would like to see him get the cash, because we really don't know what gift cards he would use other than like a Visa. And he's, you know, we never have to ask him. He's always approaching us and offering his help and asking if he can help. And like Al said, it would cost us a lot of money. It helped make that park cleanup go exceedingly well and in a real good, timely manner.
It did.
Is there an issue with just presenting cash? How do we track that? How do we keep
We just have to write him a check.
them a check?
I could write a thank you letter to him as well, thank you note from the board.
Okay,
So motion made by Al, correct?
Correct.
Yes,
Seconded by Sue.
yes.
all in favor?
I,
Motion carries. Insurance renewal. Where does that sit, Tina?
Still waiting on, I haven't gotten a bill yet. I added it on here before because I just wanted to make sure that we kept track of it, but I haven't received a bill yet. So it won't be due till February, so I'm assuming in December here I should be receiving it.
Very good. All right. We're gonna zip right into new business. First on it is PO Box / new address.
Okay, so, we had paid, I don't remember which meeting it was at, it would have been our October meeting, I think, that we approved to continue our PO box. We wrote a check for $90, I mailed it in. So all of November, I would go to the post office and check the PO box, and there's nothing in there. At first, I didn't think anything of it, I just thought, oh, whatever, people are using the payment box at the pump house, and, doing online payments more. So it didn't overly surprise me at first when there was nothing in there. But then after a couple of weeks, I was like, gosh, that's weird, like to have nothing in there. So I went and talked to the postmaster, and he's like, well, can you try your key in it? And I said, sure, because I hadn't used my key because it's a window, you can see if there's anything in there. And it didn't work. And so he looked it up and he goes, oh, well, your account was canceled because we didn't receive your payment in time. And I'm like, so what's happening to our mail? He's like, well, let me see. So then he went and looked and he's like, we do have some of it here, he said, but some of it might be being returned. And I'm like, okay, so, I'm like, clearly you could mail me a letter because it would have, like, how would you have notified me? He's like, well, you know, eventually you would have figured out that it was, and I'm like, okay. So, he asked if I wanted to continue it, and I said, no, please cancel it.
Okay.
So I filled out a forwarding address, like, so that we will not, they gave me the check back. I now have the official thing saying that Our new address is 50643. I have updated it on the invoices, they're the statements that go out to residents. I will send a letter out to people and I will post it at the pump house as well, but just wanted to make sure it was made aware here tonight that we will no longer have a P.O. box. I will start to put address labels over the current labels or envelopes that we had because they're paid postage, it's prepaid.
Okay.
So I don't want to obviously waste that money. So I will put address labels over them to anybody who still gets a mailed bill. But going forward, all of our mail will go to the main mailbox that's across from the pump house.
So,
Or they can use the payment box.
all right, so any other mail like from the county, you know, like when you look up for taxes and all
Yep.
that stuff, it always says the P.O. Box 718. So basically, it's just gonna work like a typical change of address.
Yeah.
Anybody mails to that, it's just gonna push it right into our mailbox. right?
Yep,
Until everybody kind of catches up with it.
correct. So,
Yeah, I don't know why we need that P.O. box anyways. It was, once we established that address, I
yeah.
think we have an address and that's what we'll.
So, that'll free up a little bit of money in the budget.
Okay. All right.
We'll still have postage that we'll pay for, obviously, but that number has gone down considerably since we went to online billing, and just any new people that have come in, I honestly don't even give the option of getting on the old bill anymore. So the only people I mail bills to is if it's a past due bill, I'll print something and send them a statement.
Okay.
But, so, just wanted to make sure that people were aware of that.
All right. Any questions or concerns on that? I think that's probably the best way to move forward with it. I don't know why we need two addresses. Just adds confusion.
I have a new question. Do you have any past due accounts, or do you guys have?
Yep, we do.
Do you put them on taxes in?
They will be if they're not paid, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I should say that. So the county never sent me anything this year. So I have an email up to Bridget Conrad saying, why didn't I get the normal spreadsheet and stuff like I normally do?
Okay, so you've requested, I was
I've
actually
requested
gonna
it.
ask that question.
Yeah,
Well, it's an ongoing issue for everyone, all the other
Yeah.
sewer stuff that I deal with, to the fact that Cross Lake, they certified $44,000 this year.
oh,
But it's a chunk of change, and there's a lot of customers, and it's getting worse and worse all the time, every year.
and I don't like in the past, it's only been people who are like over 6 months or over 3 months past due. We generally don't have an issue with people getting, some people will like just forget, like a couple, or people will do like they'll pay 3 months at a time kind of thing, but we continually have some residents that do not pay. I've never seen a check come from them in the 4 years I've been doing this. I've never received a payment from them. So,
I'm just curious, because all the other entities that I deal with too, how they've dealt with it.
Yeah.
And I know Cross Lake has put a hefty
Fee.
fee on there.
well, we
To the point of
increased ours.
$250.
Yep, so we increased our late fee to 5% of your bill. So every month when somebody doesn't pay, it's 5% added to that total. So it's not 5% every month, it's 5% of whatever's past due. So if you don't pay your $1,200, your bill is gonna, the whole year, it's over $2,000 by the end of the year almost. I mean, it adds up pretty quickly if you don't
Yeah.
pay your bill. So, and there are some bills the last 2 months that I have actually called people on, which they don't ever answer my calls, but I've actually done collection calls on them and tried to get a hold of them. And for 2 of them, we didn't have phone number, we've never had an email or a phone number for them. So I used Google and started looking up people's names and Facebooks and putting things, that's how I found their phone numbers. And I know it's their names because it comes up on their voicemail, so I know I have the right person, but they won't return my calls, so.
So they just automatically get forced into the, you
Yeah.
take it out on tax.
Sorry I asked this question.
No.
Well, no, I mean, it was a conversation that we should have, because it's, once we see that spreadsheet too, it probably is gonna certify anything that's left over for the expansion too, which should be coming to an end after this year, I believe, because that's the 4 years.
Next
I
year,
believe.
I believe.
Next year? Okay. All right. I guess with that, we can move on to the Minnesota paid leave that we all signed documents for. Some people are aware of it and some people aren't, but I'll let Tina explain that quickly too, of what that will cost us.
Yep, so Minnesota paid leave is a required for all employers for 2026. So wages for 2025 will be reported for every employee, which you guys are considered employees because you collect a wage. But there's no tax wages collected on that, it's just reported, I have to report that information. My recommendation is that Shorewood pay the total amount versus having the employer pay part and the employee pay part, because we qualify as what's considered a small employer. So 0.66 is what's required to pay. So it would be like 0.22 that the employer would pay and 0.44%. So I am proposing, this is what Nestle Township has done. Stark, and I can't remember what that would be, but the Stark Town Hall or Township, that's what they're doing as well, and my understanding is that's what a lot of the small employers are doing, is they're just covering the whole amount because it makes the most sense. It would amount to approximately $5 to $6 a quarter, which we would pay that quarterly. We were just notified by the state, I did get a letter that because we pay such a small amount, we only have to pay our taxes, our payroll taxes yearly. We will continue to pay them quarterly though because of this, we will have to. I have registered as the paid leave administrator with the state. Alltalk will handle the employer account and pay the taxes, but every employer has to have a paid leave administrator signed up with the state. You have to create an account, you have to have all of the paperwork documented, which is what I had you sign tonight. So I'm looking for a motion to have Shorewood pay the taxes for the total amount. And if anybody has any questions about that. So basically what it is that every person here qualifies for medical or family leave. Even though you're only a board member, I know it sounds very silly, and that's why there's a lot of confusion around this, because even very part-time employees still qualify for it. So family bonding time, so if someone has a baby, they could take up to 20 weeks of paid time off. 90% of your wages would be paid to you.
Which isn't a lot. So
Yeah.
the other thing is it's not automatic. You have to apply for it.
You have to apply
It's
for it.
paperwork that you would have to apply for if you want to
Yeah.
collect that benefit.
But it's also job protection, so your position would be protected,
Yep.
is the bigger part of it too, for 20 weeks. So I did pass out some information from the state about it that kind of answers some of the just general questions, but it is safety leave, military family leave, caring leave, or bonding leave is what they will categorize it as. As an employee, your responsibility, if you wanted to collect on it, is you would have to, again, register with the state, you'd have to submit a claim asking to do that. And if you have any questions as your benefit administrator, your paid leave administrator, I would be able to help answer any of those questions and direct you to the right places, so.
I think in some cases you would have to look for some sort of proof, like a medical certification that you would have to apply or present.
That's kind of iffy.
Okay. You don't.
Yeah, it's.
And I was just going to ask, how does this affect our attendance that we passed with our
for
bylaws?
members. Yep.
Because I think, what is it, you miss 2 meetings a year?
But you would have to, though, you would have to actually file a claim for this. So if you filed a claim, then yes, you would be protected. You would not, that for that 20 weeks. Your position would be protected. But again, you'd have to go through the steps of, but there is what Rich, you're saying is, you have to provide documentation that yes, you're taking care of it. Like it could be, you can designate one person other than your immediate family. So like if I said, I'm gonna take care of Carrie, Carrie's having surgery, she's my designated person that I'm going to take my leave for to care for her, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have to be an immediate family member. So this is, I can't even imagine being a business owner right now. That would be a lot. Like, we have friends that own businesses and, you think about how much this is going to cost people, it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's scary,
Um,
so.
How much does a board member accumulate as far as like
Wages?
medical leave off? Like what do we?
Safe and sick time or whatever?
Like we have 12, so 12 hours is what we basically are
Yep,
paid to work.
yep.
What does that accumulate as far as paid time off or like medical time off?
I would have to figure it
Because we should
out.
figure that out.
Yeah,
And then if it's like a day,
yeah,
then we should lower the amount of, like, instead of missing 2 meetings, we should miss 1 meeting,
Yeah.
because there's a meeting that you could then miss and qualify for, and then a meeting that you miss and you don't qualify for, and then it stays the same.
yeah,
Because if we're accumulating time where we can just,
yeah.
not show up to our meetings, that's not what we want to do as a functioning community.
No.
That's all my concern is.
And I don't, in all honesty, I don't know how long this will last, because other states have done this, and they have bankrupted, the program has bankrupted before they had a chance to even make it halfway through the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's just, it's, there's two opinions to this, and I get both sides, but if you are a business owner, this is a huge impact.
It's a
Like,
nightmare.
because for example, my daughter-in-law owns a wedding dress shop. Well, she has super part-time employees, they're paid off of commission. She has to go through all of this. She has to, it's a lot, so. Yeah, so I would hope that in a position like this, obviously it shouldn't impact somebody unless if there's a medical leave, like somebody's had surgery or whatever. I mean, that obviously makes sense. But the amount that you would get paid, even if it was 90% of your wages, so you're getting $40 a month from
Paid leave.
paid leave,
Yep.
is what it would be essentially.
All right, so you're basically looking for a motion that,
That Shorewood would cover the total
cost
amount versus
for-
having
to meet the state's requirements.
Yep,
Okay, I'll look for that motion.
I first the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Motion carries that the Shorewood Park Sanitary District will cover the cost for the premiums for the Minnesota Family Paid Leave Act. All right, that was a mouthful.
yep.
Board positioning and voting, I think we talked about that briefly a couple months ago, that per our bylaws, and I'm gonna lean on you, Matthew, again, on the bylaws, do we, as far as positions and new positions, what,
It's just, the person in the seat has the choice to just continue or not continue.
all right.
So we would just, do you want to be chairman next year?
I have, all right, so we'll just go down the line then?
Yeah, basically.
All right, I have no inclination of leaving my position this year.
Neither do I.
I'll stay also next year.
I'll stay also.
I will stay also.
Okay?
I guess I should say I will stay also. Because I said neither do I.
All right, I don't know, is this something we put a motion on, or is it just that we talked about it and there are no positions open at this particular point in time, unless somebody approaches us?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Next thing would be new business of the annual meeting. I think we need to schedule an annual meeting?
Yes.
All right, and
We can do it we could do it in addition to our normal
January
meeting in
meeting?
January, if we
And
would like.
and continue and just label that as our annual meeting for 2026?
We could do that, because I know the water district, we are meeting, that's the annual meeting for the water district,
Okay.
an hour before this one.
All right.
So
What's the typical agenda for that annual meeting?
budget would be, we would present the budget,
Okay.
is what I think would be the biggest thing.
All right, well, I think we'll just add that to our January meeting and try to accomplish both things that night.
Okay, so I'll add it, I'll put another poster up about it.
I'll
That
post
the
it on.
January meeting.
I'll post it online as the annual meeting.
Okay. Very good. The next thing is plowing and the plowing increase. They did present us with what the increases would be, and they tied that into the contract that we signed. And basically, it just raised on the hourly rate of the equipment that they will be utilizing. The increase wasn't that great. I think we approved that when we signed the contract that Nestle provided us, which was basically the same contract that we wrote up a couple of years ago. And again, I did let you know that we did meet with Nestle Township, and they already started plowing, and they've done a great job the last 2 plows in the last week and a half. So the only question I have for Tina is, did you get a copy of that signed contract from Heather?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
My question though with that, in regards to that, is at our budget meeting, we talked about increasing the cost for,
Plowing?
well, okay, so remember we discussed that there are residents who, because like I said, I'm like, I only charge the people that Wendy had given me a list for. Do you know what I mean? Like, that were originally on the account list when we started. So if I look at, and I don't know what these streets are, I'm sorry.
I did the same thing you did,
Yep,
and I broke down and I went through everybody, and this is all concerning the Rush Way.
yep.
And what our concern is that not everybody there is paying for plowing.
Yeah,
We haven't-
because when I look at this, and I don't know, you'd have to help me with this, but, so like Pabudas, there's 1, 2, 3.
They own like 4 or 5 lots over
4
there.
or 5 lots. They only pay for sewer for 2 of them because there's houses on it.
Right.
But they are not paying for any road fees, they just pay a sewer fee. And actually, I received an email from them asking if there was a seasonal decrease, because she said, can I pay less because we're not gonna be using our property in December? And I said, no, I said, I'm sorry, it's a monthly maintenance service that you're, required to pay. So that's how I answered her question. But Truslowski or Truskalski?
Truslowski.
Okay, so they don't get billed for anything.
Well, so basically, I think we talked about this in the budget meeting. We need to audit those people, but we should be auditing the whole district. Because there are some people, I mean, when I look at this, just like, I don't think we have a consistent rule of how we've been dealing, at least with the lot charges, right? Just because they own 4 lots, of course, they're not gonna pay for sewer if there's no sewer on that, right?
But then you look at Nactels,
Well, that's exactly it. And they do pay extra sewer, but do they pay more than just 2 sewers?
yes, they pay $237 a month.
So they're paying multiple
Road
sewers.
fees and sewer fees.
Are they paying for all the 4 lots that are in that property?
Yes, not the sewer, they're paid for the sewers,
They're paying for 2
but they're
sewers
paying for the extra road fees because.
for 4 lots?
For 4 lots.
Okay, so
So that's not, if they're getting charged, that's not,
I-
we're not being consistent like you said.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think we're consistent, and I think what we need to do is, we need to go through every property and see who owns all the property, and I started that with Rushway, because that brought it up. So what I did is, I did go to every property on the Chisago County lot, and
Yep.
see who did own all those. So, there's some questions that gotta be brought up, and I think we will need some input, but, even if they own a lot, and if they're utilizing the lot, like they have a building on it, there's a driveway going in the lot, I would say that we should charge them for road fees. But if it's an idle lot, do we have to? I mean, these are the conversations, I'm not saying, these are just conversations I'm having right now.
Yeah.
We need to be consistent, and we're not consistent. We're working off basically the information that was provided to us.
Well, and also to consider the fact that these residents on this road
Yeah.
are not paying anything for their plowing.
They never had, and that's because it got grouped into us when Nestle Township was presented the,
Midco royalties.
well, not only that, they were charging us because of that backhand deal before, but they were forced by a Minnesota state statute that any private road, a township has to charge for it.
Yeah,
That's what started the whole thing. Now, we have the deal with the Midco royalties that helps us pay for the plowing. But before this whole deal, Rushway was a part of an expansion. Back then, they never caught up with the road fees because they just took care of their own road, right? So you're right, we do need to catch up with Rushway, but we should do a whole audit on all the other properties so we can be consistent and ask the question and make a good decision.
But all other properties where,
All the other properties throughout Shorewood Park.
oh, okay.
Because there's
So-
other people throughout the park that own more than one property, just like you said, the Canackans.
Well, and also like, for example, Dennis Wood owns that, so that would be a road fee there. Like, I mean, that's a,
But that's exactly it
Yeah.
now, because he utilizes that road to plow the road and take care of it, so he should be paying for a road fee. So there's more than one property like that.
yeah,
So basically, I think, Tina, before we jump into, I would say that we should at least start with a road fee for the houses on the lakeside, right?
Okay.
Because that's only fair and everybody else is, and we are paying for the plowing. So right now, they're just paying sewer for the 11 houses that are along there, right?
yeah.
I would say if a lot touches the road, it should be charged a road fee.
I'm seeing 10.
I think we just need to have those conversations, and that's your opinion. But I think we need to create a spreadsheet and understand where we are from ground zero, because we're not 100% there yet. We're working off of old information and an old spreadsheet, and everything takes work, and it takes a little bit as we discover some of this stuff. I mean, I sat down for an hour and a half and produced this information, and I'll sit down and share it with Tina, but
I did the same thing, basically.
I think we need to get caught up with where everybody is at and create a spreadsheet, because it kind of rolls into the next thing that we talked about, which is part of the MPCA permit. We're gonna have to start inspecting sewer lines and understanding who and how they're hooked up to the sewer, because it's all old history. And one of the things that we have to maintain is our I, and we have to get a handle on that. So, like I talked about before, we should almost be understanding what each property is and what's all involved with it. Because part of that's gonna be reducing some of our I, right? Have you inspected your main drain? When was the last time you inspected it? Is it in good condition? How many bathrooms are in your house? Do you have a sump system? Do you have a water softener? All these things that could be dumping all this extra water in. I think that's gonna be part of our permit, because we promised them that we would reduce our I, and that are gonna be some of the things that we do. So, I see where you're going with this, Tina.
Yeah,
I just don't wanna just start arbitrarily charging everybody 5 road fees.
well, that's, I guess what I'm saying is, so that was that's why I put that on the agenda, because we need to address it.
Right.
Because if we're going to start charging residents, we need to give them ample notice
Of what it is and.
of what it is and why they're getting charged.
Right.
Um,
So I think it's almost like a separate meeting that we have to sit down and create this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And see where the baseline is, so we can have a good educated or a good comprehensive conversation about how we move forward.
So I had created a directory that has every resident, all of their property address, all of that, and then it has the parcel ID number.
Okay.
So basically what we need to do is, we can edit this spreadsheet to add those parcel IDs to this,
All right.
so that we make sure that we're not missing any.
Well, can we set up a time or a meeting?
Yep.
And I think it would be a couple of us as volunteers on the side to sit down. I mean, I could sit down with you and we could go through this and create the spreadsheet and tighten it up. But I think we need to almost have a special meeting on how we want to move forward with it, so we can present it.
Yep.
Do you guys all agree on that? I mean, it's a lot of work sitting in front of us. I don't think we're all gonna be able to make that decision right now. We're aware of the issue that we are not billing consistent of what's been happening throughout the port. So we do have to have some consistent rules of what we're billing. And that's basically done because properties have changed hands so much over the years. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
All right, so how do we want to move forward? Do we want to set up a time that we can get together with a couple of us and go through this and create this spreadsheet? I think that's the first thing we could do, and then we could all kind of collectively meet, right?
I'd like to be there when you meet.
How would you like to move forward, Tina, since you're the the workhorse?
Whenever you guys pick a day and I can be there. I can prep by I'll print out, I'll just have Joe print out kind of the larger sheet so we can get on a, I don't know.
I know when you do a spreadsheet, it comes out, it's really combined, so if you put it
No,
on a.
but I'm talking a map, so I'm gonna have him print an aerial so we can make sure that we're accounting for every
Right.
residence.
The best way that I did is I broke it down into zones. So I basically called it Rush Lake Zone, Rush
Okay.
Way Zone. And then I counted it, and then I went through and I did each property.
Okay,
And I named it, and I'll have this over, I think you did the same thing.
yep, I did, yeah,
But it-
I just didn't, I don't have all the printouts with me, but yes.
Okay, so I think that's the way that we approach it. I think it'd be great information. If we could do this electronically, then it'd be nice, we could click on an address, boom, and we could blow up what that address is and what's involved. And then we can see if there's any changes or any additions. But, once we get together and we can kind of see, and we audit to see who's got multiple lots and who doesn't, who's paying for lots and who's not paying for lots. Because I think there's a couple properties, like you said, you mentioned one, a great big one, that we know they use the roads, but they're not paying
Yeah.
any road fees, right?
And there's equipment that comes through on it is the other thing,
Right.
like that could damage the road. So I mean, there's definitely a
There's a-
need for it to,
There's another property that, on the other entrance, not the
Okay.
main entrance by the sign, but the other one, that property there, they don't pay a road fee either.
well, he's charged one.
And he has never paid.
He's never paid it.
Okay, so then, that's another one. It just brings up, there's some other ones out there that we just need to do an audit, I think is what we need to do. We need to get caught up and bring it up to snuff. And we've talked about it, but we've just never really found
Yeah.
the time.
How about Tuesday the 16th or Tuesday the 9th next,
I'm on vacation next week, so that's not
okay?
good. Next week.
Tuesday the 16th?
Yeah, will you send out a reminder?
Yep.
Okay. All right,
7 PM?
yep.
And are we going to do it here or are we going to try to do it at a residence?
Well, I think we could easily do it here.
Okay. Sue, would you be able to reserve it? Okay, thank you.
We have good Wi-Fi here, so we can do.
Yep. And Chisago just changed their website. It's different even from last month. I don't know if you've been on there.
I did, and there's multiple maps that you can pick from.
Yep.
And quite frankly, you can pay a fee and you can get some additional information if you wanted to, but I don't think we need to do that. I think we can get all the information we
Need off of the,
off
just
the
the,
maps.
yeah. Okay.
I'll hang on to this. You can look at it now. I didn't do that at work.
As a side note, speaking of new residents, I had a chance to talk to the new residents that bought the Mason house today. Super nice. Shreya and Feng Zong are their names. They have 5 kids,
Oh my gosh.
4 boys, 1 girl. Perfect. So we talked about TJ and Anish's kids, kind of the same ages.
Oh, fun.
Their son is going for the state title for diving. They're freshmen. Sounds like a super nice family. They live in Dayton. They're excited to meet everybody. This will be a cabin for them. Yeah, super nice. So
Yeah,
just want to pass it along and,
It's awesome to get more kids in the neighborhood.
Yes.
yep,
Absolutely.
yep,
Yes.
yep. So she was happy to hear that there were other kids around that
That
like
would
to
be
fish
nice.
and would be, yeah. So, no,
Good.
yeah.
Big family.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she was nervous. She's like, well, we have kids, we have 5 of them. I'm like, that's awesome. So, yeah. Anyway, so if you see them, welcome them. I just,
We were talking about the welcome bag.
Yep.
And I went and had talked to Lisa Rip at the city hall about getting new bags.
Mhm.
And she said that what they do now is when people come and apply for the new water bill,
Mhm.
they're told to come get the bag, but,
We don't have,
no. So I will still, I'll talk to Lisa again about getting the new bags for the residents.
oh, before I forget.
Yep.
Can I get approval, going back to, I don't even know what we want to put this under, some of the people who have past due accounts, do I have approval to spend $5.13 on 4 residents to send certified mail to them with a letter, a delinquent letter to them, so that I know that they're getting it?
Yes.
Okay. Can someone make a?
First motion.
Thank you,
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
thank you.
Yep. All right, I only have one other thing, and it was Bobcat. I don't do Facebook, but it was amazing that one response about a cat got more people talking about what's going on in the neighborhood, and we can't get anybody to pay attention to what we're doing here on a monthly. Is there any way, I mean, we have the website, but people don't visit it. There's people always asking questions. I know this takes effort, but is there any way we can have a Shorewood Park Facebook that we don't put everything out there, but
Yeah. No,
but
I think
it
that's a great idea.
seems like there's more people that look at that, because you get alerts, and then, I don't know how many comments there was about Bobcat that Kelly was reading to me,
Yeah.
and I just went,
In Shorewood?
about
Yeah.
Shorewood, yeah.
Oh, I
Somebody
didn't know
had said, whose cat is this? And people commented back and they said, that's Bobcat. Because he's like, does he have a name? I'm like, yes, he has a name, like other people,
Yeah,
Bob
Bob.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, and they're like, does he have a home? I'm like, yes, he has a home. He has a warm home and a family, but he chooses to visit everyone.
I thought you
And,
meant a real bobcat.
no, but then people are like, he's super friendly, and I'm like, yes, he's, so then, and then Anisha got on there, and she's like, yep, that's our cat, like, you know, and I'm like, he's just the community cat, he just visits everybody.
Spends a night in every other garage. So,
Yeah.
I don't, we've talked about that, but I don't know what kind of effort that takes, and another way just to get information out. Like, not everybody knew about us spending that Saturday at the park,
Yeah.
which was, I think, I wasn't there, I came towards the end because I was busy, but the people that put that effort in to clean the parks, I just want to publicly thank them. And that kind of was all generated about that beautification and getting together and cleaning the parks, and I think that would generate more people, getting them involved and let them know what's going on. So,
Do you want me to create a Facebook page?
I don't know the process.
It's super easy. And I could take some of the pictures that Sue had forwarded me from the cleanup day and post them on there. We could do the things like the 4th of July parade. All of those things would be great to
Just
put on there.
reminders of, go to the
Night out.
webpage to get this information, go to this, see, it's really easy. Some people don't even want to look
Well,
at it.
like Rush Lake has a Rush.
That's what it was
Lake
posted
Social.
on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what this Bobcat thing was
Oh.
posted on.
Oh, the community page?
Yep, that's
yeah.
where he was posted about.
Speaking about the cleanup at the park, I had someone send me a thank you,
Okay,
and they asked that I read it at the meeting. And
okay.
it says, "Thank you to all the volunteers who helped clean up Shorewood the other weekend. Your time and effort made such a difference, it truly looks beautiful." So,
Thank you.
thank you everyone who helped on that.
And it was nice, a couple of cars stopped by and said, thank you,
Mhm.
this looks
Yeah.
really, really nice, everybody.
Yeah.
It was good to hear.
I supervised for a short
Yeah.
while, but you guys did a good job.
Thanks, Tina. It was your supervision.
It was a
It
cheap
was, my
gym
direction.
membership.
Yeah.
All right.
It does look super nice.
Is there anything else? All right, with that, I don't have anything else. I'm looking for a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.